All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to talk about, Errol Spence Jr. and what he did to YORDENIS Ugas, according to Errol Spence Jr.'s team, specifically Derrick James. Terence Crawford is going to have to overcome that and then some. Now, let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division, and I don't care if you upset about me making a bunch of videos about this Errol Terence Crawford fight. Look, this is a only happens once every blue moon type of thing in the sport that we love tremendously, which is a mega fight between the two best fighters in the world in the same weight class at the same time, fighting for all of the belts. After a good amount of time of build up and you know, fan bases going back and forth with each other. This is what it's all about, man. And I hope that we get more and more of these. We've been getting this incredible year of boxing, incredible talent, incredible fights. And this one right here, man, is just like, mwah. You can't, if you're a real boxing fan, you gotta be into this. Ain't no way you cannot be into this. But before I get into the details of what Derrick James said about Terence Crawford and what Errol Spence Jr. plans to test in Terence Crawford, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can get all of the notifications. If you like the video and the content that I'm providing, if you don't like it, then don't waste your time doing that. But hit the thumbs down button. But if you like it, hit the thumbs up button. And thank you to everybody that supports the channel, that is subscribed to the channel. Thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks. It's a great way to support content creators and encourage them to continue to do the type of content that you enjoy. But let's get into this. Man. Derrick James was interviewed by Marcus Villegas of Fight Hub, and he was asked a series of questions about the fight coming up. And in it, he talked about having people doubting Errol Spence, doubting himself heading into this fight. In summary, what he said was, look, there's a bunch of people that have doubted Errol and us, he said us, when we fought Kell Brook, when we fought Mikey Garcia. Many people said that they wouldn't know what Errol was made of until he fought Sean Porter. And then he said, when we got to YORDENIS Ugas, many people thought that YORDENIS Ugas had beaten Manny Pacquiao and wondered what he was going to do in that fight coming off of a torn retina. I'm adding the torn retina part. But in saying this, he brought up what they believed about YORDENIS Ugas and said that he thinks YORDENIS Ugas is the toughest man in all of boxing. He said to have a man in a ring that broke his rib, broke his orbital bone, broke his nose, all of that, but yet he kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. That is a testament to the toughness and the ruggedness of YORDENIS Ugas. And then said, that's what we're going to see with whether or not, what we're going to see in this fight coming up is whether Terence Crawford is that level of tough. If he is willing to go through that amount of pain, that amount of dog, in him, right? And, in the ring with him. And whether or not he's going to be able to overcome that. And if he's not, and this is me filling in the blank, it's going to be a tough night for Terence Crawford. He specifically talked about, was asked about, well, what about Terence Crawford's counterpunching? And Derrick James said, Errol is a counterpuncher too. And Errol is a sharper, more tight counterpuncher than Terence Crawford is. So these guys absolutely plan on stepping to Terence Crawford and making it making it a lot of punishment in that fight. And it's going to be interesting to see if, and also one thing that he said that feeds into this, when he was asked, Derrick James was asked, what do you think Terence Crawford is going to do in the fight? And he said, we don't know what he's going to do in the fight. We have to prepare for every scenario and everything that he can do. And, we kind of looked to the side a little bit and was really, and actually explicitly said that he's not going to try to give away too much of what he's thinking. But he was like, yeah, he's a good fighter. Yeah, he's a good fighter. But you could kind of see the wheels turning, looking like, yeah, I see what he's doing. I know what he's doing. Now, what I assume, that's me assuming, what he means is we've watched all his fights. We know what his tendencies are. We know what his adjustments are. We know what he wants to do. And the job of Errol Spence and Derrick James is to prepare for those scenarios. The scenario when he does this, scenario when if you get him hurt, and how does he usually respond to that, right? When does he, and they also asked, do you think that Terence Crawford is going to be in the southpaw or the orthodox stance? And he said, look, I think he's going to do whatever he thinks is working best for him. So they have a very flexible approach to it, to the fight. And what Terence Crawford is going to do. One thing that Errol also said on an interview, and I think this interview was on, I think this was on a Fight Hype interview that Errol Spence Jr. gave when Sean Vitale, and shout out to Sean Vitale, very good work that they do over there at Fight Hype. Sean Vitale asked him, do you think Terence Crawford is going to come out fast or slow like he usually does, or what do you think? And Errol was like, look, I think he's probably going to come out faster than he usually does because he hears what everybody's saying about starting out fast, about starting up slow and not wanting to get behind the 8 ball. So I expect him to fight his fight or at least try to fight his fight, but he expects him to come out a little bit faster. But at the end of the day, all of Errol Spence Jr.'s camp is talking about punishing Terence Crawford and really trying to wear him out and trying to make him, if he's going to win that fight, he's going to have to earn it. And I think that is going to be the big thing for Terence Crawford. I don't think Terence Crawford is going to get a flash knockout on Errol Spence Jr. and just kind of figure out what he's going to do and figure out what Errol's doing and let Errol walk into something. I just don't see that happening. I think what's going to happen is kind of what Derrick James and Errol Spence Jr. are saying, in at least the tone of it, which is, look, he's going to have to earn this win. And you're going to have to see if he is as tough as Yordenis Ugas was when Yordenis Ugas was out there. And in order for Yordenis Ugas to get that win, Yordenis Ugas had to win that, had to earn it. But his body broke down before he was able to cross the finish line, right? And we'll see whether or not that's the same situation with Terence Crawford. I know that there's a lot of people that believe that there is a possible scenario out there where Terence Crawford is going to box from the outside, move, slip, all of that stuff, and never really get touched by the flat-footed Errol Spence Jr. Dog, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I think that Errol is a significantly better fighter, and this is a much closer fight than where you are gonna, be in a scenario where you're just gonna be just moving all over the place and not have that guy near you. One of the things that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is on tape saying to Devin Haney is he said, look, man, at a certain point in time, all that boxing stuff is going to go out the window. And there's certain people that ain't going to let you do that. And you're just going to have to fight. Derrick James said, look, we know one thing we do know about Terence Crawford is that Terence Crawford is going to fight. And I think that that is definitely a tendency that you see in him. If he gets pushed, he pushes back. And when he pushes back, we'll see what Errol does with that, what adjustments that he makes. And if Terence Crawford is not able to really push back quickly and do what he usually does when he pushes back, which is get people out of there, then you're going to see an ebb and a flow, but that flow is going to ebb right back. And then we're going to see how many times he can fight back, right? Because YORDENIS Ugas pushed on that gas against Errol Spence, right? And then Errol Spence did what? He pushed right back in it, just like Tim Bradley says about Errol, that, you know, you're going to have to do something to that man, because that man is not going to slow down. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video. And with that, I'm out. Peace.